Good morning. This is Nita and Miss Panda with the Timepiece Garden. And you hear the chimes. I am amazingly happy I got both doors on the hoop house yesterday. Because I'm not sure I'd be able to do it today. Now, it's the early morning. It's only like 43 degrees outside. You know, you can tell the sun's just kind of popping up. There it is. Anyway, it is over there. It's just popping up. Still a little chilly. But, yeah. It's windy. All right, well, I'm going to go back in the house and make some breakfast. I'm sure Panda's going to be like, yeah, let's go get some eggs. And, yeah, I'll take you along for the ride. Because, you know, we're supposed to have a high of, like, almost, 68 today? It's supposed to get really warm. Which is probably why we've got the wind blowing through, I guess. I don't know. But, yeah, I'll take you along. See you in a few. Afternoon. This is Nita and Miss Panda with the Timepiece Garden. And while it's a nice day and the weatherman says it's 61 degrees outside, I still have a lot of wind up here on the mountain today. So I don't know if I'm going to get as far as I wanted to get. What does that mean? Well, I want to move my molasses buckets to their garden. This one goes to garden 2 and this one goes to garden 3. Perennials hoop tunnel. And then the other 3 buckets I have, this one's got water in it, and the 2 others that just over on the porch, will also go to garden 3. Thought process is molasses buckets. Molasses is really good for your gardens. You know, do some reading, Google it, whatever. Molasses is awesome. And then the mineral buckets here, because that's what they are, cow mineral buckets. There were other minerals in here that are also just as good. So these are going to get spread out on the garden, and then the other 3 just have water in them. And I'll talk about the water when I get them down to the hoop tunnel. But for right now, that's the goal. I'm not going to put them specifically on the garden today like I thought I was going to. We're going to have a week of rain and or rain ice next week, and I don't want to put the molasses on the garden just to have it wash away. So, but they're going to the garden because right now I can still pick them up with, you know, minimal effort. So let me get to moving the buckets, and I'll talk to you in a few. All right, garden 2, perennial garden. It's the molasses bucket. I'm not putting this molasses and minerals on the 3 garden spots yet. We're supposed to have another thunderstorm, huge thing coming up next week, and another snow or ice storm after that. So I'm gonna go ahead and let the bucket finish filling with, you know, natural rainwater. Just because there are minerals in that the ground loves. I do, however, stick a stick in it. I've already got a couple of bees out, and should a bee or some other critter fall in the bucket, the stick gives them the opportunity to climb out. Whew, having said that, black bag. Black bag allows the sun to heat it so it doesn't grow mold or algae, etc. in there while it's out here exposed like that. So that's what the black bag is for. All right, all the other buckets are already in the hoop tunnel, and I ran a couple of hoses and got my rainwater catchment on to fill them, and we'll talk about that in a second. All right, in the hoop tunnel, I have both doors open. Again, that way I don't have wind coming in this door and then pushing up against that side. The wind can go ahead and just blow through. Again, you can see where, you know, did all my weeding, etc. Ground's nice and level. What am I doing? I'm filling buckets with water. That's my rainwater catchment. And that becomes a twofold thing for me. And what I mean by that, since we're going to have this ice storm coming up, I'm going to go ahead and test a hydroponics theory. Now, some of it I know. Again, this is a hoop tunnel. It is not a heated greenhouse. The heat builds up in here because of the plastic and the sun hitting the plastic. It prevents the ground from freezing. That's why it's really good for like turnips and radishes and kohlrabis, things that are root crops, because the ground never freezes. Now, having said that, when it's 18 degrees outside, that makes sense, it's about, I don't know, 19, 20 degrees inside air temperature wise, because it's not heated. And it, does that make sense? The daytime it heats the ground, heats the air. Nighttime it doesn't. So now why there's about a 2-degree difference between what's outside and what's inside is because the ground is warm. The ground is not frozen, and it slowly but surely releases heat. So it's always warmer inside the tunnel than outside, always. And having said that, in the hydroponics world, if you've got black containers, does that make sense, that can heat up during the day, water cools slower than air, but faster than the ground. So what you do is you fill the containers with water, black containers preferably. If they're not black, you can see what I've done. I've just put black trash bags on it. On the white container here, I actually put 2 black trash bags on it because it was still kind of see-through-y. And then what that does is, again, that allows when the sun comes up, it'll heat up the black plastic, which in turn heats up the water. And then at night, when the air temperature goes cold, that makes sense, the black containers are supposed to slowly but surely release their heat, just like the ground. So instead of having a 2-degree temperature difference, it may be a 5-degree temperature difference. Having said that, I don't know. I've not done this before. I figured it was something I would try. Again, we've got the thunderstorm and the ice storm coming up. I'm not ready to plant in these yet. So let me fill them with water. Let me see how that works with this ice storm coming up. If it's, freezing rain and all icy, and these guys are in here and they're not frozen, does that make sense? Then they're helping maintain the heat inside the yeah, words are awesome today. Inside the hoop tunnel. Now, if they all freeze, if they're in here and they're solid frozen at 17 degrees, then they're not large enough, because there's a certain thing that counts for the volume of water or the amount of water you have and how long it will maintain that heat. And most people have those big water drums, they're 55-gallon water drums. I don't have any of those. I got these free. So I'm just going to test it, see how it works. And if it doesn't work, it's no big deal. What I will use them for is watering. Again, we're middle of February. For us, I don't even plant regular crops until March or getting into Easter time frame, just because we'll have a cold freeze and it'll just kill some stuff. At the same time, I don't put my hoses out till then because I don't want it to crack my hoses. So filling the barrels will allow me to water in here once I get the stuff planted in here. So again, twofold. If it works great for the maintaining temperature, then I will keep them full. If it doesn't, then I just, I'll let them empty. I'll empty them as I water them. First one here is solid water. This is what was left of the molasses water. This has got a little molasses water. That's got the majority of the molasses water. It was too full for me to pick up and carry down here. It was too full for me to pick up and put it in the gorilla cart. So I got an empty one, put the black bag in it, put half of it in it. Does that make sense? And then moved them down here one at a time because I could lift them up. Yeah. So now I've just, it's a lot of molasses, a little molasses, even less molasses, no molasses. And then, yeah, from there, look up what molasses does between the iron and the magnesium that molasses has in it naturally. Does that make sense? It's really, really good for your plants, which is why it will be put in here along with whatever cow minerals, diluted down with the water in the other garden. I just don't want to do it prior to this thunderstorm, because if we have a deluge of rain type thing, I don't want to dump it here or water here and then lose it all. I'd be just a little mad. Now, what Panda's doing, Panda knows what the hose is all about. She loves her some rainwater. All right. Y'all have a great day. Miss Panda and I, we'll talk to you later. Panda thinks waiting for the tubs to fill is rather boring. Almost done. She's checking it out. She's being a great supervisor. You know, checking out. Mom's got her safety gloves. But waiting for him to fill is boring. All right. We're almost done. Talk to you later. You're silly, girl. You're silly. And now the fun part. Wind the hose back up. Get it back into the shed. Again, we have thunderstorms and or an ice storm getting ready to come in over the next few days. So that one's almost done filling. I'm going to go ahead and walk up to my rainwater catchment, turn it off, go ahead and undo the hose up there, and that way the air pressure should let the last of the water come out here. It's the thought process anyway. And put the hoses away. From there, I will talk to y'all later.